Welcome back, everybody, to Ready, Aim, Live. I'm Jose.
And I'm Wes, and welcome back to part 3 of Home Defense.
Our last installment for this 3-part series. So today, is exit plan and aftermath. First, I want to lead into 911. Obviously, that is the first thing you want to do. Depending on your situation, that may not be the first thing you can do. But immediately, as soon as you can, you should have 911 on the way.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
If you have a chance and you're in the room grabbing your gun and you have your cell phone, which you probably do, call 911 as you're grabbing your gun, and they can be on the phone with you while things are happening, and they can hear everything, and you're going to need that, which leads us into your next point.
Yeah, so knowing the exits to your house and knowing that in this emergency, you're going to know how to get out and, understanding, where the assailant's coming from and where's your easiest exit to your home. It is something that could save you and your family's life by knowing exactly how to get out of that house and putting yourself in a position that puts you away from the house, away from the assailant. So what if he steals stuff? So what if things go missing in the house? You care more about your life and more about your family's life and putting them in a good situation than you do about anything else.
Not every fight has to be over gunfire, and of course that's not something that you want to, you don't want to lose that battle. But if you have a chance to get out safely with your family right away, you should take those steps and get away from the house immediately as you call 911.
And always knowing your trusted allies when it comes down to if something does happen. The people that are around you that you know that you can call in a minute's notice, and knowing that they were going to have your back and be able to come help you or help your family through the situation that is, put in front of you. Lucky for me, I do have my father and my mother-in-law that live 2 streets down from me, so I know exactly who I can call that's going to be there in a moment's notice. But your plan is going to be a lot different. You may have a neighbor that you trust. You may have, your friend that lives, 5 minutes down the street. Knowing who you're going to call and who's going to be that trusted ally to come in at that time, that you're disoriented or, your family needs somewhere to go, just cool down at while everything else is being solved.
Like you said, your neighbor, that's a big thing, guys. I know a lot of people hate their neighbors, but, that's one thing. If you can find a neighbor you trust, that neighbor could help save your life. There's plenty of things that can happen with that. And going into trusted allies, there's one thing a lot of people don't realize and that you're going to have to get involved with is a lawyer. So having a lawyer pre-planned, someone that you already know that you can contact if anything were to happen. There's plenty of things like USCCA, NRA. They have things that help, provide money for lawyers and stuff like that in case anything happens if you sign up for their memberships. So having, knowing where you can go if things went south, having that number, the person you're going to contact, that way you're already going to be under so much stress. Now you get to try to find a lawyer and get quotes and all this frustrating things. Just having that already ready to go and having that as a backup plan. Like we said, you got to plan for these things, have a plan in place. And that's why we're going over this with you guys.
Well, and make it pretty easy on your lure. As we mentioned in the previous video, with your skills and, your situational awareness, using the right ammunition, could prevent a lot of damages and, a lot of things that maybe external, damages that happen to maybe someone else's house. That's going to prevent your lawyer from having to do a lot more work in the long run than that's absolutely necessary. Because even with the USCCA, you do have a lawyer limit for money. So using as little of that as possible would be good. You don't want to hurt anybody else. You don't want to damage other people's property. So keeping a mindful eye of the things that you're doing and the things that you're actually preparing yourself for can make your life a lot easier if something does happen.
Like we mentioned before in previous videos, whatever gun you use, whatever gun you fire off, that gun's going to be taken to evidence. So if you're getting your layout all set up and you put your most prized rifle or prized pistol and you're like, yes, if something happens, this is it. Don't do that, guys. Granddad's rifle, don't do that. Have something basic, have something that you don't mind losing. You might not get it back, or it's going to take a long ass time to get it back. So just keep that in mind, guys. You could lose that weapon, and you don't want to lose Granddad's rifle.
Well, and that also goes back to thinking about the ammo that goes into the rifle, because if you use the right kind of ammunition for that rifle that's not going to be an FMJ going through walls.
Oh, yeah!
you're less likely to actually lose it in the long run. You may actually get it back in a clear-cut case by your lawyer.
Hey, that's why it's so important to get that lawyer. And if you haven't watched part 2 or part 1, I suggest you go back, rewatch those, and then come back and see our smiling faces. But going into that point, back on to step 2 of the pre-plan. I'm sorry, step 1 of the pre-plan, and having your access points, like you said, your exits of the house, but having a rendezvous, having a meeting spot for your family. If by any situation you and your family get separated, or if you have to send your family outdoor, meet me down, give them a location. If you have all this in place to where you guys know, okay, if we exit through this door, we can meet at 2 streets down, 2 houses down. If we exit out the back door, we can meet, we can easily hop this fence. Like, just assessing your property, knowing all the ins and outs and every path you could take wherever anything can come in or come out.
Well, and think about it. You have trusted allies around you, and if you have a trusted neighbor, you guys have that as your rendezvous point. Having these things set in place is going to make life a lot easier if you have children, if you have a wife, if you have people that that you want to guide in the right direction. This is going to be a set plan that's going to guide them and keep them in a safe place away from the danger that is existing inside the home or around the home or whatever the case may be at the time. So super big point, having a rendezvous, having a nice meetup spot, having trusted allies. Everything that we're laying out is our opinion and is everything that we want to give to you guys, so that we want everyone to have some sort of idea and some sort of plan, because you honestly never know what can happen. There's plenty of incidences that happen in the world every day of people that have to defend their homes. Even in our previous video with self-defense, you never know what can happen. So to help prevent some of these things and to also guide yourself and guide your family through some of these difficult situations is an amazing goal in my mind.
Amazing goal and a lifesaver. That is the most important thing.
Yes, sir.
So thank you guys so much for making it this far. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bells. Like we said, every Friday we have videos coming out to YouTube. We have reels come out to Instagram. Down in the description below, we have our new link tree. One quick link you just hit, and it has everything right there for you. Take a look at it, go browse through everything we have, and support the channel.
And we got plenty of videos. Like we mentioned before, we have a self-defense video, so that's going to be more of out in the world. That's still some some opinions, also some stories out in the world, to really get you involved in the things that are going on. Like you said, we got videos coming out every Friday on YouTube. Use that link tree. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. And always remember, guys, who's got your 6?